This is SportsCenter.
Another super Saturday of college football. Top 25 teams in trouble all across the country, including a pair of stunning top 10 upsets in the Big 12. Meanwhile, two Pac-10 unbeatens collide in Oregon. Don't miss a ridiculous game-deciding misplay in the end zone. Plus, Padres looking to clinch, Phillies on the verge, and the Mets almost make franchise history.
Hey there, yeah, you said it. Welcome to the broadcast live from the ESPN Digital Center. It's SportsCenter. Steve Berthiaume, John Buccigross along the way. In a moment, we will set up the final day of baseball's regular season tomorrow. It should be amazing, but first, speaking of amazing.
Yeah, Auburn, Florida. Florida has won 8 of the last 10, but it was Auburn who gave Florida their only loss last season. Florida brings an 11-game win streak into the contest. Auburn looks to avoid its first 0-2 conference start since 1980. Ben Tate, handoff, and 14-0 Auburn. Third quarter, Tate through the line, but Major Wright comes in with the big hit. Ball loose, Gator football, ensuing possession. Now it's the fourth quarter, Auburn's 6-yard line. Tebow, Cornelius Ingram, 17-10. Here come the Gators. Still in the fourth, looking for the tying score. Tebow. It's a beautifully thrown ball here. Percy Harvin did get that foot down before going out of bounds. Later, Tebow with 2 blockers in front of him plows his way into the end zone. 17-17. Here comes Auburn. A long drive capped off by Wes Byram. It's good. Wait a minute. The old coach calls a timeout from the sideline just before the ball is snap moved. Now doesn't count. So Byram will try again. From 43, good! And Auburn, winner, chicken dinner at Florida. Final score 20-17 as seen on ESPN. And with the call, Mike Patrick and Todd Blackledge, and we go back to them for more. Fellas.
What else could you say? I mean, it was a great ball game. Auburn, a huge underdog, but they believed in themselves. You got to give them the credit because they talked about it all week long that if they avoided the stuff that had hurt them in the 2 losses, they had a chance to come in here and compete, and they weren't funning us either.
Well, and I think you saw some pride also in a program that had won 12 out of 13 games on the road in the SEC. They won 8 out of 9 against top 10 teams, and a senior quarterback who struggled early in the season, played well off the bench last week, played outstanding tonight on the road. Brandon Cox, I mean, you love this for a guy like Brandon Cox who has struggled in his senior year a little bit to come in here and play the way he did and to lead his team was fun to watch.
And how about the freshman kicker? You come in here, hostile territory, 88,000 people screaming their brains out. You make a winning kick, but not so fast. You didn't make the winning kick. You got to kick it again.
Yeah, Urban Meyer perfectly timed that timeout. Byram just stayed about his business, knocked it through again. And, you know, I'll tell you what, we've had 3 SEC games in a row. They've all been unbelievable down to the final seconds. And this one was maybe the best of all.
Just another lousy night in the Southeastern Conference. It was a tremendous effort by Auburn as they knock off number 4 Florida. Back to the studio, fellas.
Thanks so much, Mike and Todd. Florida is now 17-2 over the last 2 seasons. Both losses coming against Auburn. The Tigers held the Gators to 17 points in each of those wins, while Florida averaged over 35 points per game against everyone else.
A remarkable day in the Big 12 today. We started with number 3 Oklahoma scoring nearly 61 points per game, but stuck in a tough Big 12 opener at Folsom Field in Colorado. Third quarter, here's Alan Patrick. There he goes. 17 of his 96 yards, and all going according to script here. It's 24-7 Sooners, but hold on. Fourth quarter, Colorado down 14, 4th and goal. Cody Hawkins, Tyson DeVray busts down 24-17. Hawkins threw for 219 and 2 scores. Colorado attempting a 36-yard field goal to get within 4, but Kevin Eberhardt wide left, and Hawkins, you're still down 7. It's Division I football! Colorado's punt right through Reggie Smith's hands. The Buffalo's going to set up shop inside the Oklahoma 20. You can't have mistakes like that backed up against your own goal line. Late 4th on the road. 4 plays later, Hawkins, Dusty Sprague. We're tied at 24 with 4:05 to go. Sooners stuck with a 3 and out. Got a punt again. Chase McBride back there for the Buffs, and look at Chase McBride matriculate his way up the field. Almost. Gets it to the 50 and sets up this. 2 seconds left. Eberhardt from 45. This for the win. It would be his career long. 2 ticks to go. Tie game. This is it. Drills it. Buffalo's first win over a top 5 team since 2001, and it is the signature win so far for Dan Hawkins after last year's 2-10 season.
Well, Texas can't get caught looking past Kansas State with the Red River rivalry looming next week against Oklahoma. They should have added incentive after getting upset by Kansas State a year ago. Colt McCoy under pressure pickoff. Career-high 4 interceptions thrown by McCoy. Ian Campbell the other way for the score. Kansas State up 14-7. Ensuing Texas possession. McCoy comes right back. He redeems himself. Good scrambling here. Good feet. Finds Quan Cosby. Touchdown. Game tied at 14. Ensuing kickoff. Back and forth we go. James Johnson. Johnson, 85-yard kickoff return. 20-point loss by the Longhorns, the worst home loss in the 10-year Mac Brown era. Haven't lost that bad in Austin since a 66-3 loss against UCLA back in 1997. So the Big 12 gets way more interesting as both Texas and Oklahoma lose today. The last time both lost on the same day, October 2nd, 1999, which was also a week before the Red River Classic. The Horns and Sooners will meet again next week. We have many more upsets to go on a crazy Saturday in college football in this Sports Center.
Now to the baseball. John Maine on the mound for the Mets facing the Marlins. New York, a game back of the Fightin' Phils in the NL East with 2 to play. They had to have this one. Bottom 3, last innings. Village, he was 3 for 5 with 2 home runs. Everybody clap your hands. It's 7-0 New York. Down 8-0 in the 4th. It's Hanley Ramirez. Maine, flunk. That had hurt. Another look, Ramirez right on the left hand. It's called a foul ball. Next pitch, of course, a hit on the hand. It affects his grip. Loses the bat. He'd have to eventually leave the game. Maine with a no-hitter through 4. Trying to help the Mets back into a tie with the Phils atop the division. Remember, Mets have never had a no-hitter in their history. Bottom 5, Mets up 9-0. Some retaliation, perhaps. Harvey Garcia throws behind Luis Castillo twice, so now everybody's really on edge. C.B. Buckner, the home plate ump. Warnings issued, benches clear, but that would pretty much be it, at least to that point. Jose Reyes and Matt Lindstrom, they're just joking around. And then with Reyes on third during a Marlins pitching change, Miguel Olivo gets into it with Reyes and says, somebody says, hey, you want to fight? One of them said it. They both said the other said it, but they did have a fight. Olivo runs over there. Sandy Alomar has to step in, throws a punch. Bench is clear again. Reyes said he thought Olivo was joking when Olivo challenged him to a fight. Olivo was ejected. Reyes did stay in the game. Olivo says it was Reyes who suggested they fight. Not him, but Reyes had another version.
When I was in third base, he told me, because I look in the hand, he told me, I'm gonna throw the ball to third base and I'm gonna hit you. So I think he's kidding with me, you know, because I know him for a little bit, you know, and we always talk, you know. And after that, when he went to the mouth, you know, he said, you want to fight? And I said, yes, let's fight.
So Olivo leaves. Reyes gets to stay. Make a note of that. Top 7, Maine is yet to allow a hit. Here's Robert Andino. David Wright at third, off his leg, right to Reyes, and they get him. One more look, off of Wright's left knee and straight to Jose Reyes. The no-hitter still intact. Next up, it's Jeremy Hermida. Had the big home run earlier in this series. 13th strikeout of the game for John Maine. Next up, Alfredo Amezaga. Wright ends the inning. Maine will take his no-no into the 8th inning. Remember again, the Mets have never had a no-hitter in their history. Ever. Top 8, Mike Jacobs becomes the 14th strikeout victim of John Maine. Next up, Jason Wood. And the way Met Nation has been suffering through the last week or so, you can't believe the way they were jacked up for a potential no-no here. Carlos Gomez is there. Maine 4 outs away. Next up, it's the guy who came in for Olivo when he was ejected, Paul Hoover. right at third. He's got nothing. Base hit, Wright has no play. One more look, you'll see Hoover break up Maine's no-hitter. You can't fault Wright. Nothing he could do there. Maine allowed just one hit in 7 2/3. They were not going to get him. His 14 strikeouts, the most by a Mets pitcher in 8 years. Mets get one they had to have, 13-0. Here's the Maine man.
It's kind of do or die for us, and you got to treat it that way. And so, we came out, we did what we had to do today, and we'll see what Phillies got to do.
We did what we needed to do. We got our confidence back for going into the last game of the season, and possibly a playoff, and just went out there and put a team away finally.
You go from not being able to get anybody out to not being able to score runs one day, and then the next day you guys almost throws a no-hitter. We got 15, 16 hits, so I feel good about our chances.
It doesn't really matter what the Mets do as far as the Phillies are concerned. If the Phillies win their final 2 games, they win the NL East for the first time since '93. That's the last time they've been in the postseason, the John Kruk mullet era. Top of the first, Ryan Zimmerman. You saw Adam Eaton. Big start for him, his biggest as a Philly, and didn't quite have it. Burrow has some issues. Ronnie Belliard comes around to score, so just like that, the Nats score first. 1-0 to the third. Matt Chico pitched really well for the Nats today, and here he picks off Jimmy Rollins, who didn't really have a very strong game for the Phillies. To the 7th. It's now a 2-0 game. J.C. Romero and Ryan Howard's a great hitter, but he's an awful first baseman. 12th error of the year. Another run scores. Phillies defense starts to let them down. Look, he thought he had the ball there, had a force out. He gets